Hello everyone and welcome back. Last time we were exploring Great Falls, Montana and the Air Force Base and visiting with Janet's grandson. Today we're heading north in Big Sky country, headed from Great Falls up to Glacier National Park. And see, we went via I-15 and Route 2 and Route 85, and the first thing we come to, well, not first thing, but after a while we come to Cut Bank, which is supposedly the coldest point. At one time, I think it was back in 54, it was minus 70, and at that time it was the coldest in the U.S. We're going also through Browning, Montana, through Blackfeet Tribe Reservation, and that covers most of the area outside the park. And I have to apologize, it's going to be a long video because once we get into the park, it is so beautiful that I have to show you the whole thing. I can't just cut it short like I have on the trip up to the park. The first thing we're going to do once we get to the park is find a camping spot. Oh yeah, I forgot to tell you. Yeah, there it is. We have run across many cows in the highway and had to stop for them, let them pass. But anyway, so we get us. We find out that the east side of Glacier National Park is open and not closed for wildfires like the west side is. So we get us a spot at St. Mary's Campground, and it's early enough in the day that we head up the Going to the Sun Highway, which goes all the way across east to west and west to east to the Glacier National Park. However, at the top, after 18 miles at the very top in Logan's Pass, it is closed due to the wildfires on the west side of the park. And so we get to go over half of it. No, not quite half of it, because it goes on after Logan's Pass on the west side, it goes on for 38 miles, about 20 miles farther. But anyway, this is the most spectacular scenery we've seen ever in our lifetime. And I couldn't cut it short. I did speed it up a little bit, but I wanted you to see everything that we saw. And keep in mind, it still doesn't do it justice. It's 10 times better than it looks on the film, and it was just gorgeous. Let's see, is there anything I wanted to cover? Oh yeah, when we got our campground, we covered amongst the huckleberry bushes, and deep in bear country, and they don't even allow tents to camp there because of all the bears. So we didn't see one. We didn't see any wildlife except the cows. We were a little disappointed by that. But anyway, we're just looking at the awesome scenery going into the park. And keep in mind, when you see anything that looks like a storm cloud, it is the smoke from the wildfires. It was everywhere in the air. You could smell it pretty strongly. I think we're right in the middle of this little map of the campground, and it shows you kind of what it was like. No hookups, but definitely a nice place to camp. Anyway, as soon as we get done finding our spot, we just put up our little name so nobody else gets it, and then we're headed back out up the Going to the Sun Highway. And I hope you really enjoy this trip, because I know we did. Join us next time as we travel around the bottom of the park to the west side to see if we can find out what damage, if any, has been done to the west side of the park. And we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.